Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my freshwater planted tank. It's been a couple of weeks and I've been to a couple of my local fish shops and I've got some more livestock and plants. So about a week ago I went to a shop. It's probably one of the closest ones that's near me. It's about a 15-minute drive up in Hastings, and they do reptiles and fish as well. Brilliant shop, lots of stock in there, and same place where I got him, which is the Siamese fighting fish, which got lots of character, always at the front, as you can see, always at the front, always exploring. Really good fish. But I also got from there must have been about a week ago-ish. You can see at the front, 1, 2, and you can't really see it, but he is there, 3. I think they're cherry shrimp. I think he called them fire shrimp, fire cherry shrimp. They got a few different names, but I wanted some shrimp in here. I actually got 4 of them. Unfortunately, I did lose one due to just, it didn't too much stress. It just didn't survive the transfer from me buying the fish to going into the tank. They were all fine when I put them in, but after about I saw them all at the front, but then after a few hours I could only see 3, and he's actually still dead in a little hole in the rock, and I can't really get him out, so he's kind of stuck in there dead. I thought the fighter fish would eat him because he's dead. I thought he'd just eat him. He has picked him a little bit. So yeah, unfortunately I've lost one, but I do still have 3 in it, and I'll probably get another batch of them as well next time I see them. Probably get another round of 4 of them, and they will breed. I am aware of that. Eventually they probably will breed when they get to adults. They are very small. I'd say they're really young, especially like a couple of them are really small. But I really do like them. They're always at the front, as you can see. 1, 2. I'll zoom in on them in just a minute. But I've got those 3 shrimp in here, and they're always at the front. So much, like, really active. Yeah, really great, and they weren't expensive either. I think they did come some kind of deal. They just did 4 for £10, which would be about like $14 or something, $15, which is that's really cheap, I think. And I'll probably get some more since they're so cheap as well. I didn't just get shrimp from there as well. What I also got is, if we look at the back corner by the heater, that is another plant. I've got 3 plants in here now. I started off with this one. This is a Limnophilia sessiliflora, which grows like mad, and it's known to do that as well. It's known to be probably one of the fastest growing plants, and it does grow fast. And I've got no CO2, no fertilizers. The light that's on it is 1.5 watts. It's literally barely any power, and it's still. I had to trim it the other day. I had to trim a few stems because they were like touching the water. I'd like to keep them about how they are, about an inch off the water. I don't want to get them all the way out of the water and bent, starting to come over the tank. I don't want it being too, look too ridiculous. Yeah, so that plant in the corner is a Anubias nana, which is a more larger leaf, slower growing plant. Again, really cheap. I think it was £5.50, which is, plants are really cheap. Was I'm really used to buying, because I've been into the saltwater a lot recently, past few years. Same thing with my dad as well. We've been used to buying corals instead of plants, and the prices of them are, there's a big divide between plants and coral. Coral, you're looking £20 to £50, maybe even more for corals, but plants, you would struggle to find them more than £10 for one plant. So it's brilliant. I think this side of the hobby, the more planted, the freshwater side of things, seem to be often a lot more cheaper, which is good. So I got that plant in the corner. It's got about, I'd say, 7 or 8 leaves on it. It is a slow grower. I've had it before in my first ever aquarium. I had one of those plants. It was really slow growing, which is good. I don't want to have to keep trimming it every 5 minutes. And I put it up in the corner, which the fighter fish absolutely loves. He always sits on the leaves, like buries himself right at the bottom of it. Because he loves the heater. That's the heater in the corner. And he loves that corner. He loves like wrapping himself around the heater and going all by the suckers that are on it and everything. And I thought I'd put that there on the end of the wood. I super glue. I drained the water down to about here-ish, about halfway. and then I put some super glue on the wood, and then I just stuck it down, and it stuck down easy. Yeah, and the fighter fish absolutely loves it. He's right there. He loves chilling in the plants. Fighters seem to really like that. And I'll give a close-up of this because you can't really see it, but I did get a third plant. So if we look in the centre of the aquarium, you can see a kind of like moss type plant. That is Java moss. Doesn't look that great at the moment, but it wasn't when I bought it. I bought it in a little pot, from the same place I got everything else. Again, that was cheap. That was literally about £3.50, really cheap, just come in a little pot. I didn't use all of it. I only used a tiny amount of it because I think it had been sitting in the pot for quite a while. I could tell because the pot felt, quite old. There was quite a bit of dust and everything on it. I wasn't, it was only cheap, so I thought, let's get it. And I did want some moss in here anyway, right at the centre there. Because I opened the pot and a lot of it seemed really black and a lot of it was like really brown, so I was like, I'm not going to use that because it looked dead almost. But there were some bits like in the middle, they see it's more darker green, as it should be. It should be like a lightish darker green. It's like right between that plant and that plant. That's the kind of colour it should be, like a grass kind of colour. So it should recover. It's doing alright. I haven't really seen much growth on it so far. I don't know, maybe a little bit. Well, this is my first bit of footage on it, so I'll check in the next video and compare the two, see if we can get any growth. But that has definitely been loads of growth. Haven't really noticed anything on that yet, but there is low light, there's no CO2, there's no fertilizers, and it is a slow growing plant, so I wouldn't expect that to go absolutely mad. But I think Java moss is a particularly fast-ish growing plant. So I didn't want it all over the wood. I wanted to be able to still see the wood, so I just put it right at the base of it, right like at the what would you call it, like the trunk of it. And see that's the wood there. Oh, he's in the way, and he goes all the way back there. And I wanted to just cover the base of the wood with moss, just so you can't see like the trunk. So all you just see is the branches, which I wanted to do. So I just got that moss to cover it up. But it's annoying. It wasn't 100% healthy when I got it, but hopefully it should recover. We'll see what it's like in the next video. What I would love to show you is the shrimp. These are cherry shrimp. This one is not as red as the other ones. It's got more of an orange and it's kind of transparent a little bit, but that's fine. He's still red. That one is really red, as you can see. There's 3 of these. He's probably like these, the medium-sized one. And then there's the smallest one. You can't really see him, but if you look in the centre of the screen, you can see a bit of red. He's there. Maybe if I look this way, yeah, you can see him a bit better there. There's another one there. So we've got 3 of these in here. I don't know how you tell the difference between male or female, or even if you can, but maybe the females are lighter. Maybe that's why he or she is like that. I'm not really too sure. Let us know in the comments if you know, if you can sex these. I'm not really too sure. But I'll probably get another batch of them, probably another 4 or so in here, and I'm bound to get at least 1 male and female together and give them. I'm not too sure how long they take to get to a full maturity. I would say maybe 6 to 9 months, and maybe they'll probably start breeding, which would be really nice. He's coming out into the light a little bit more. That's the smallest one. I'd say he's literally a baby. He is, but really, really red. Absolutely love these shrimp. There had a few others in there, the yellow kind. Some of them had like stripes on them, but I liked these ones the best because they really stand out against like the brown and the green, like the wood and everything. They really stand out well. They're just easy to spot, aren't they? They like sitting in the plants often, like this one. They're like going right to the top of there, or in that plant. But I don't think the fighter particularly likes it. I wasn't too sure what they fed on, so I asked the guy down in the shop, and he said they feed on like mosses and that. Another reason why I got the Java moss was I wanted to make sure they got food and that, but I know they do scavenge around for stuff. I do put Spectrum pellets, little pellet food for the fighter fish. A lot of them go down to the sand bed so they can grab them. I did try putting an algae wafer in there. Didn't really seem that interested, so I didn't try another one. But yeah, they're only tiny shrimp, so it wouldn't take much food at all for them to be full up. It literally takes a tiny little grain and they're full up for the day. So these ones, they seem to be getting together now. So you see the red is like really, it's blood red. yeah, really nice shrimp. Glad I got them. I'm keeping on top of weekly water changes. I will do about 50 to 60% water change. And I tested my nitrates the other day in the tank, and I expected them to be about 1 or maybe 0, but actually I found that there were 10 nitrates in this tank, and from doing weekly water changes. But there is a fairly sized fish in there. This is a 15 litre to 14 litre tank with rock and sand and everything. You're looking at about 12 litres, 13 litres. But I don't feed heavy, twice a day, and it's literally a tiny pinch, because, you know, he's not... They are greedy, these fish, but I only feed him twice a day. I don't want to overfeed him. But nitrates are at 10. I think there isn't many plants. There is a few plants in here now, but obviously I plan on getting a lot more plants. Maybe, you know, 3 or 4 other plants. I like a big variety of plants in this tank. So when I get some more, that's more plants to suck down the nutrients in the water. So I'm hoping when I get some more plants in here, the nitrates should come down. So we'll test when I get some more plants next week or so. Hopefully they've gone down. So me and my dad plan on doing a little tour of all the shops that are in our area. We'll probably hit like 3, maybe 4 different aquatic shops that are within like a half-hour drive. So we'll probably hit all those in one day and see what we can find. And I'll probably, hopefully, find some more cherry shrimp. I'll probably get another batch of them, and hopefully some more plants as well, because I really would like some more plants in here. I'd like some more red plants, but I know they do like some more higher intensity, so it's maybe something that is worth trying. And if it doesn't do well, then, you know, I don't have to have it, which is a good thing, because they're not massively expensive. So I think that'll do it for this video. Apologise if it's a bit of a long one. It's got a longer video, but I had a bit to talk about this week. I was going to do a video on my saltwater tank, which is literally standing right behind me now. But I'll probably leave that for next week, since I'm planning on getting some more coral into that tank either tomorrow or the next day. Within the next 3 or 4 days, I'll have some more coral in there. So as soon as I've got some more coral in there, I'll let it settle for a day or two, and I'll do a video on it. So thank you all very much for watching this video, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye.